Over the last few months, I've spoken to several investors who are getting lured into some regional markets purely because of the lower price point. And Mildura keeps popping up as a hot favorite in those conversations. But here's the thing, just because something looks cheap doesn't exactly mean it's a good investment. I've seen too many people get caught chasing the lower price points, only to end up with stagnant growth, poor rental returns, and trouble offloading the property down the track. They buy purely based on these lower entry prices, getting swayed into high gross rental yields on paper. They skip the research on the fundamentals, things like population growth, infrastructure, economic diversity, and vacancy rates. I bought my first investment property at age 18. I've spent 20 years in the financial planning, and wealth management industries, and I don't purchase property based on headlines. I follow the data and purchase property that is fit for purpose, and that's how exactly we're going to break down Mildura in this video. By the end of this video, you're going to walk away knowing whether Mildura is a smart investment move right now, or whether you're better off looking elsewhere. And if you are serious about building a property portfolio that performs, not just one that looks good on paper, book a free strategy consultation session and we'll talk through your next move. So without any further ado, let's get started. Before we kick on, just a quick advice disclaimer. Any information you see in this video is only general in nature. Please do not take it as financial, legal, tax, or otherwise advice. I strongly suggest that you consider speaking to a financial service professional before you make any financial decisions moving forward. So let's have a look at how Mildura has been performing lately. You can see there that there has been a little capital growth in recent history, with property prices rising 10 to 12% there, from low 500s to 580,000 there over the last few months. And you can see particularly the 3-bedroom median price point there rising from around about the low 400,000s to mid to high 400,000s. In terms of Mildura itself and the suburbs within Mildura, certain areas have seen capital growth of 12% plus, especially around Mildura, Golgol, and the Red Cliffs area. And it's also seen considerable rental price growth as well there. So rents have risen approximately 8% there over the last 12 months, with Red Cliffs seeing close to 10% rental growth over the last 12 months. In terms of the vacancy rate, vacancies have actually risen recently from around about 0.4, 0.5% in early 2024 to 1.2% now, where they sit at a rough long-term average. Now, a vacancy rate of 1.2% is still relatively good when considering the national average is about the same mark, 1.1, 1.2%. In terms of the number of property listings that are available on the market, you can see there that the stock on the market is starting to come down from an early 2024 peak there. And proportionately, there are slightly more properties in the less than 30-day mark than there are in the over 180-day mark on the market. You can see here's the rental price growth that we were discussing, where rents have risen roughly 8% in Mildura, from your mid to low 400s all the way to your high 400s to $500 per week. And then in terms of the number of rental listings, so you can see here the peak point where vacancy rates have risen because of a large amount of stock on the market. However, you can see the number of rental listings coming back down again to a short to mid-term average there since COVID. This is a typical case study of a property that's recently sold in Mildura here. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1-car house that sits on 435 square meters of land. It was recently purchased at $451, with the median price point in Mildura for a home being $485,000. Stamp duty on this property is about $24,000. This property has been rent appraised at $450 a week, so around about 5.2% gross rental yield. Assuming an 80% loan to value ratio, you're looking at around about $1,800 per month, assuming a 6% interest rate. So thank you everybody for watching. If you do have any questions about investing in property in Mildura, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to be able to help. And if you are considering purchasing an investment property in the near future and want to discuss further, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll leave the link to schedule a meeting, and I'll speak to you soon.